Hey Tom, what's the time? Well, we set off at 5 o'clock this morning. It's about 7:30 now, and people are starting to gather, just waiting on the bailiffs.
Okay then.
Oh, here comes some more, and possibly more, and more, and more.
I'll tell you in a moment.
Questions to ask you. Some difficult ones. Maybe get some backup from people who know something about the law.
Yeah.
Come on you guys, come back. We've got some questions for you. Do you like difficult questions, you guys? You like asking them, don't you? You don't like answering them so much. Come on. Come on, come back. Don't run away. Come on guys.
So that was the first checkout to see how many are here. It's, I don't know what time it is, I'll get back to you on that one.
What time is it? Beautifully dressed, if I may say. Impeccable, the three of you.
Are you on your oath today, officers?
It's just us three. We're just going to see what you guys are up to.
Are you on your oath today?
I think you're
It's a peaceful gathering.
notified by...
Yeah, I'm sort of aware of what's going on. There's some kind of eviction going on, is that right?
No, there's no eviction going on here.
No?
Definitely not today. Are you on your oath, officer?
We've just been sent down here to find out what your intentions are.
Are you on your oath?
Hold on a second. Okay, so you're here to find out what our intentions are. There's a lot of people here, and they've probably got a lot of intentions. Do you know what I mean?
Are you on your oath today, officer?
Meaning what exactly?
What's your intention?
Just to come and find out what you're doing.
Right, our intentions are...
Excuse me, Constable, this chap's asked you 3 times, are you on your oath?
What do you mean, am I on my own?
Are you
Oath. Are you on your oath?
Are you acting under your oath?
When you're trained at the field centre, you took
I, with your name, do solemnly swear.
Are you on your oath to the Queen?
Right.
So you're on your oath today, officer, to protect the people?
Yes.
There we go, that's all we
That's
need.
every day.
I think that's everything.
Sensible answer.
No, that's fine, he said he's on his oath, yeah, that's fine.
Everybody's here basically to see that. You do think this is a peaceful conversation?
Yeah, that's fine. That's the only reason we're here, to make sure it remains peaceful.
You've already got prepared, have you?
No, it is entirely...
Yeah, we're here to speak to you, just make sure everything's okay.
Yeah, there'll be no breach of the peace here today.
That's the oath you were referring to, Constable.
Yeah, I'm aware of the oath.
Okay, and you're acting on, as the oath states.
If he reads it out, then he'd be on it, wouldn't he?
I, your name of, where from,
Hold on,
do
hold on,
solemnly and
he's-
sincerely declare and affirm that I will and truly serve the Queen in the office of Constable with fairness, integrity, diligence and impartiality, upholding fundamental human rights and according equal respect to all people, and that I will, to the best of my power, cause the peace to be kept and preserved and prevent all offences against people and property, and that while I continue to hold the said office, I will, to the best of my skills and knowledge, discharge all the duties thereof faithfully according to law.
Now you guys are meant to say, both of you now, I do.
They'll be married then. If they say that, they'll be married.
Just put this back away.
That's it, you know, because you're paid from public sandwich.
Yeah, have a coffee. Have a
Providing they know that we're peaceful people.
Yeah, and this.
And he did say yes, he was on his oath, so that's fine.
Always got to get them on their own, haven't we?
Yeah. Back in emergence. Fantastic stuff. Yeah, nice one.
Yeah, sometimes they forget it, and just like to remind them.
Well done. Hello.
Yes, Mr. Sheezy Roth.
Oh yeah, like Mr. Shee's place quite a lot. Well done.
Yeah, I always carry that on me.
Yeah.
Because they do seem to forget what they actually swore an oath about.
That's right, yeah. I mean, he first of all said that he didn't seem to remember that he'd done that.
He refused to even answer the question initially.
Just you can write on them there to you. They still are investigating.
We've also, we've both put in crime reports. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
This is the crime report.
Yeah.
I'm
It's a garden party you've come to, it's not.
Very civilised.
Well, they are. Help yourself to sandwiches and tea and coffee.
I mean, this is a standard leaflet, but the crime number is important.
Yeah.
Still under investigation.
Is that recently then, is it? 13?
Last Wednesday.
Last week.
And changed to that.
What?
Paperwork and make sure it's according to the law. You cannot take sides, yeah? You are here to be impartial.
What the dogs
For the time being. I've seen...
No, he's here to be impartial all the time.
No, because they're scared to come because they don't have documents. That's why we have this farmers.
They provided false information.
I'm unaware of any bailiffs standing today.
Okay.
What's happening? Every time we call you.
I just wanted you to know they now more investigating. I tell you what I've been
And that's why we got them in here.
What happened?
Yeah, because it's only got the number, it doesn't say what's happened.
We put a complaint. They give me a piece of paper. And the piece of paper is a false document.
Oh, okay. It's like fraud, is it?
Fraud.
Sorry, so
But it is a terror.
Okay.
Yes, we phoned up the MI5, the group. They told us they don't come because we want to inform them of to prevent terror in the country. So we went to the police, took the data of everybody, but they said we can't deal with all over the country, but locally yes. I'm not saying locally, and I gave them all the evidence. They phoned up the bailiff. The bailiff said he's not giving them the papers. That's what I've been talking about. Then I wanted to go to the papers, so they said the judge made the order, the police is not allowed to see the papers.
You've got to make a decision
So
for
where do
yourself
we
whether
live?
you believe that order
It's
is
all
correct
public
or not.
documents.
I'm not on about today, I'm on about in the future.
I don't see any reason why you shouldn't be allowed authorisation in regards to getting that paperwork. Have they spoken to you?
I don't know what he did.
Okay. You're waiting for him to get back to you? Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
But who told you?
What difference does that make?
But like, that's the order. Because if I tell you I'm delegating, it's the bailiff.
But am I using any
It's the
powers?
solicitor and the
Okay, fair enough.
because they committed the crime and the judge.
But he says like he hasn't received any orders, but he said like he's been told. So somebody informed him.
Last Wednesday, it's not me, it's a group.
That is the order. When I go to work and my supervisor tells me something.
You're all reported at the same time?
Yes, one number is
I was just on my way to Costa, you know.
the service is the area.
You keep the relevant paperwork.
Of course.
Yeah.
But no, the police has got also.
This
This is what they've got. Can you read just this if you want?
Hold on, what's this talking about educating?
They have to arrest those people now because they committed the crime.
You're staying all day. That's what
High treason.
What about tonight?
Yeah, there'll be people around anyway, but there'll be...
The bailiff can't come. No, 8 o'clock is over. It has to be on the dot. If he comes later, he committed the crime and you come. It talks mileage.
We're just here to
When I asked the court to release the file and judge issued the order that a file cannot be released. And like, if you don't have authority to kind of get a file and investigate the matter, like who has? Because when we are reporting crime, we come first to the police because you're first call of duty in a way.
On the way as well.
Yeah, so I mean, we're not here for it because we're not here to be violent.
5, 4, 2.
Manuel?
They must have.
I can understand that.
The Yehudi.
I'm sure my word.
And la mano sua,
A lot.
Any case, under that rule, They have to release those documents and they're not releasing them. Do you know why they're not releasing them?
Because they don't have them.
Exist.
Well, just for your
They've made it up.
your Hendon office, the sergeant there, because it was a warrant now, he requested from the court to see a copy of that warrant, to see a copy of the paperwork which issued that warrant, and the judge said, no, you can't. There's another gentleman called Guy Taylor. He's in a criminal investigation. The CPS sent him some papers, and in that papers, he discovered there was a document where the CPS requested from the court the documentation to prove that there was a crime, and the judge made an order that the CPS can't get access. That's the criminality that we're dealing with now. You're putting the firing line because of criminals at the back.
My knowledge of court process is very limited.
Yeah.
So
Ours is very
People are made bankrupt on documents that don't exist. People are evicted on documents that don't exist.
Do you know why there's no judge will put his name to forcible exit of anybody? No judge will do that because a tenant, whether you're a mortgage tenant or a rent tenant, they have so many rights.
Yeah.
And that extends all the way back to the Magna Carta. The Magna Carta was brought into this country for the free man, for the common man of the land, to stop the unfair taxes, to make sure trials can be held quickly and fairly.
Any order from the court will have a judge's signature
and a seal,
a readable
Not a
name,
stamp,
and
a seal
with a date. It means it's issued and it's recorded in the court. So if you want a copy, you can get it. If she wants a copy, she can get it. But we always get some notices, notice of eviction, notice of bankruptcy, notice of liability order. Orders don't exist, and we ask you to investigate because we are victims of terror, homemade terror.
I need to report back to my side anyway, just letting know what the situation's here. Are you expecting any more people?
There will be.
They'll be turning up all day long, yeah.
There will be, yeah.
if we're expecting more people, someone it'd be like coming and going. I don't think. Do you really think there'll be more than
There will be more turning up, but there will also be some going as well because they've only got so much time.
Coming and going.
Yeah.
So I reckon, you're probably about this amount.
Anonymous. Hello. Hi. I'm Ollie.
Hello, Ollie.
Hi. And you anonymous as well?
I'm Mark.
Mark. Hi, Mark.
Andrew Wood, nice to meet you, Ollie.
Nice to meet you. Okay.
We're deciding on a test. Peaceful test.
Lovely.
Except that his knowledge about what I call court proceedings is very limited.
I have, but I stopped This is where I found it.
Yeah, and that's why
Terrorism, trying to stop it. Terrorism.
do you know
It is, it's paper terrorism.
coming to a house near you soon?
Yeah. You're only about 2 or 3 weeks away. Anyone that's watching this who's got a mortgage or anything else, you're only 3 weeks away from this.
Why?
If you was to lose your job and miss payments, it starts. Sorry. So 3 weeks away from it.
What's your name?
Tony.
Tony, what's your full name?
I'm not telling you.
Okay, Tony, and you come from where?
South London.
Whereabouts? Elephant Castle.
Yeah.
And can you tell me, do you work? You got a job?
I work for myself.
Yeah. What do you do?
Painter and decorator.
You're a painter and decorator. So you've taken time off work to come here. Why?
Because I wanted to be here. It's important.
People will wonder why. Do you know them?
I know a few of the people here.
No, but do you know the gentleman who lives in there?
I do know of him. I know that the work he's done.
But you don't know him personally?
No.
Okay, so why have you decided to take time off your job?
Because it's wrong. Because what's going on is wrong. Yeah, it's a criminality. It's unlawful. It's wrong.
And how did you hear about it?
Well, a few years ago, got into it. People telling me about what's going on out there. Started off looking around the internet, finding information, and just generally, soaking up, sponging up information and finding out that basically we're being stiffed.
What do you mean?
Rinsed. Well, everything.
Explain.
Explain the whole system in about 30 seconds.
Yeah, do explain.
Fraudulent warrants, unlawful arrest, seizure of goods without proper due process. The police are aiding the bailiffs, which they shouldn't be. Yeah, it's a civil matter. You're right. It's a civil matter.
No seals ever on any documents.
That's right. No, warrants have to be signed.
And have you had personal experience in this?
With regard to?
In regards, has it ever happened to you? Eviction?
I haven't been dragged into court or had an eviction yet. Most of my stuff's been done with paperwork.
So you've actually had bailiffs around your place?
I tried to.
Tell me what happened to you.
Just sent the letters off.
What do you mean?
Got involved in a game of letter tennis and dealing with law. And eventually, if you get it right, they'll leave you alone.
And you have been left alone?
Yeah. So far.
What was going to be taken from you?
Well, probably try and steal one of the vehicles. Usual stuff, trying to rinse you for money, unlawful kind of added bills that they put on stuff.
So that was bailiffs who were after you?
Well, it started out, the usual thing. You get into a dispute with a company, start asking for information. You want proof of information before you carry on. Then what happens is they have a tendency to obfuscate information, lie. Then what happens is they'll just pass it on to someone else. So then you've got the hassle of having to deal with all that on top of what you've already tried to deal with, when the people that you've already tried to deal with have done it unlawfully anyway, or have not followed any kind of due process at all.
Were you in debt? What was causing them to do this?
Sorry?
Why were they knocking on your door, bailiffs?
Well, because I'd asked some questions. I asked for, in my particular instance, it was to do with a credit card bill. I wanted particular information regarding to see if they'd actually lent me any money. But it turns out they hadn't.
So just sum it up, how much money was it?
Oh, it was about $4,000.
So bailiffs were pursuing you for $4,000
They
debt.
tried to.
Bailiffs tried to pursue you for $4,000 debt over a credit card bill.
That's right.
What do they want off you?
What do they want off me? Well, they want $4,000. Plus all the extra stuff that goes with it.
Which more than
unlawfully, which should be on the warrant, of course.
Precisely. Or on all paperwork.
Yeah, I'm trying to get that over to the viewers.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people say if you're in debt, you should pay the debt, but it's not that. It's not just about that, is it?
No,
Tell me what it's about.
It's basically
big questions.
Big questions. All right. Let's just say you go into a bank, right, and you want $50,000. I walk in, paper, put it all in front of the consumer credit agreement or whatever it is. As soon as you put a signature on that document, that becomes a £50,000 note. Right? You've created your own credit on the signature. You give it to the bank, they do a clever little cup and ball switch, put you on the debtor side of the accounts when you should be the creditor. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. How long has this fraud been going on? How many hundreds of years?
And then they securitise it.
Yeah, securitisation as well on top of it.
What happened to your £4,000 debt?
It's gone.
How did that happen?
They left me alone. They couldn't prove it. Sent it on to a debt collection agency, asked the same thing. They can't prove it.
But have you got away with not paying it?
In a way with anything. Look, this is the point. People say, how did you get away with it? If it's not a loan in the first place,
I didn't mean
if someone walked up to you in the street and done that.
So I still don't understand. So did they lend you any money or not?
No, they didn't lend me any money at all.
So basically,
it was created on a signature.
Explain this to me.
Well, I'm not an expert in banking.
So you ended up. They thought you owed them money, but you didn't.
They were saying I owed them money. They knew I didn't owe them money.
And you never spent the money.
Think of it like this. I'm
still trying to understand. The viewers need to understand what happened to you. Were you lent money or not?
No.
So how come they thought you were?
Because they did.
Fraudulent paperwork.
Yeah, they assumed because it's fraudulent paperwork and dodgy, and been spun around
getting on the BBC.
and generally messed around with. This is what they've been doing to everyone, and everyone thinks that they've got to pay. So if you've actually created your own credit on a signature, how on earth can they have lent you anything? Because they just basically take it and sell you it back. And sell you your own credit back.
So you ended up
profit.
in debt, even though you hadn't spent the money.
Basically, yeah, I suppose you could call it that.
In fraudulent debt.
Fraudulent debt, yeah, fraud. It's all based on fraud, all of it.
And how did that happen?
What do you mean, how did what happen? Sorry,
how did you end up in that position?
How did I end up on it? Well, I decided that when I found the information out, I would write to my credit card company and ask some questions. And when I asked the questions, they couldn't give me a straight answer or the proof, the accounting for the debt, where the money came from, etc. So if you've got into that situation and they can't prove that they'd actually lent you anything, so how can they demand any money off you?
So
if it's been done fraudulently.
So they were saying you owe us £4,000.
Yeah.
When you hadn't borrowed £4,000.
No, not really, because I'd already created my own credit with a signature.
I still don't understand.
I can try and explain
Can you try and explain it? Someone who's got a bit more.
Had you actually spent the money or not? Had you borrowed the money or not? See what I mean?
Can I try and explain?
5-minute interview, man. Honestly.
I'm not going to get 50.
No. But it's fair. I think you're generally.
I'm just trying to get
Yeah.
the ball.
No, I understand. Okay, I'll try and explain it as best I can.
I want this man to explain.
Yeah, but I'm not an expert in finance. I can only go on the information that I've got.
Why do you want him to explain it?
I can use him as a case study.
What about Mr. Ebert himself?
What about Mr. Ebert? He would be the better one.
I'm sorry, I don't understand what it is.
You don't understand what it is?
I don't get it at all.
For your own good.
If you had a credit card, you either spent the money or they lent you.
I spent my own money.
Why did they think
No, but he didn't. Okay, let me just try and explain it. You don't have to. You can record or you not record, right? Let me just try and explain it, right?
6 points. There's 7 points.
This is Mr. Ebert's house, and we are here. This is the
I'm
information.
just still trying to work out what happened to this guy.
Speak to somebody who knows what we're talking about in terms of finance.
This is based on an idea that we have all been misled in a massive way, right? We have been misled about what's going on, and only a few people know what's really going on. This is not under what this idea is not known by most people, and it's not known by most people that work in the banking system, because it's where if the information is on a need-to-know basis, right? And the people who work in the bank system do not need to know. Not only do they not need to know, they absolutely don't know, because they think they're actually doing something that's completely legitimate. But this is the theory, yeah. Now, the thing is that it's very convoluted, right? So I'm going to explain to you the theory. Just listen up carefully. This is the theory. The theory is like this. You have to go to the bottom of the question of what is money in the first place and how is it created, yeah? Do you know what money is and how it's created?
No, it's true.
Sorry, guys,
I'm trying to explain to you.
I'm trying to explain to you. It'll only take me a few minutes, but I will try and explain to you if you're genuinely
interested. Hopefully with a good question in nature, man.
I understand that, but in order to understand what he's saying, I'm going to try and explain to you. It's going to take just a few minutes of listening, and the point is that it's good for you to listen to this because you and all of us are in it together, right?
All in the same boat.
When I go, what actually happens? So 20 years ago, I borrowed £50,000 from a bank. I thought I borrowed £50,000 from a bank so I could buy my property. But what actually happened on the day, that I borrowed the money is I've got a piece of paper that they got me to sign. I had no idea what I was signing, right? I was just a naive 20-year-old. I had no understanding of anything. And I signed a bit of paper. And what actually happened on the day in the real world, is that there was a change on the digits of my bank account. That's what actually happened, right? Nobody came round with a box of cash, right? There was a change of digits on my bank account. Now, the theory is that what actually happened in reality is that money is created. In other words, in the last 20 years, the property values have gone up in this country on the whole by, let's say, £10 trillion, yeah? Do you understand that? Yeah, the value of the property has gone up by 10. Where did that £10 trillion come from? And the idea is it comes through our borrowing. So what happens is the bank come to me and they say, oh, you want to borrow £50,000, yeah? They create that money through my borrowing. So in other words, I sign a document which says I'm going to give you £50,000 plus interest, right? And that document in itself is equivalent to cash. They haven't actually, they create it, they are allowed to create it when I give them that certificate. So that document is a bit like the money, like a £20 note, which says I promise to pay the bearer on demand the sum of £20. It's a note of promise that I'm going to pay. That's what the money is, yeah? So when I borrow money, it's not really borrowing. I create it through my documentation, which they don't sign, only I sign, yeah? Now, just if you want a case study, I can give you a case study of my own, right? Except that I'm not quite in the same position as him. I wrote to my mortgage company recently to ask them for proof of the contract that we have between each other, yeah? They don't have it, yeah? They don't have it anymore. So what? I don't know if that's making it clear. It's just the theory that what is actually happening is the money is created through that documentation. So they're not actually lending you any money. That's
Can you see what a convoluted, cocked up way of doing it is?
We're going to go inside and talk to the guy outside.
There was no listening going on there, by the way, my friend.
Cheers, mate, for that. The company's trying to put me on the spot.
I don't know. Where are they from?
BBC.
BBC. Oh, no wonder.
And of course, because of that, I was never going to get a new video. Apparently, yeah.
BBC London.
Yeah, it might get rid of your cold, but it's smashing your liver and kidneys. Yeah, it's got rid of your cold.
I saw on mainstream media they're saying we're doing research on cannabis.
This is another reporter. Don't know who he's from. We'll find out later. What's the time? 20 to 2.
Yeah, hopefully. Then they'll come.
That was good to see. Yeah. As well. You want to try a Tom before? Yeah, no, I mean.
But I'm sort of happy about that. That's a bit.
Yeah, because you maybe be setting them up there eventually. Well, where's my 20? You know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of different
You say?
No, we just informed that there'd be more people turning up at the end of the demonstration up London, so that if there was more people here, they shouldn't feel intimidated. So,
excellent. Nice. I didn't understand. What did you do?
Tom the Hat.
Yeah, I agree.
Demonstration in London, student demonstration, and basically that's why actually they haven't got any because they're running a skeleton style. So they can't get. They need 10 copies down here.